Ah yes, Power World, Power World, Power World, with a reveal that left everyone in shock.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
You have a machine gun?
World, it's Pokemon with guns.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Look, we've all heard the jokes, Pokemon with guns, asset flip fever dream, and when Power World dropped, the internet treated it like a punchline, and honestly, on paper, it really did sound like one, but then something happened, and people played it and actually liked it.
So the game's actually good?
Progress, yeah, that was fun.
Yet there were a lot of people baffled at the sheer gall of this studio, with some people cheering them on and excited for the IP while others were fearful of the villain in this story. That being Nintendo with the craziest legal team, with the habit of leaving a scorched earth. If only the boys lived up to that hype. What if I told you the most hated game of 2024, the one Nintendo tried to bury deep down in the reaches of Tartarus, was one of the best things to happen in gaming in a long time? This isn't just a story about copyright or patents, it's more a story about a tiny team of developers who suddenly found themselves staring down a multi-billion-dollar Goliath. Nothing but their own community standing between them and absolute ruin. January 18, 2024, a studio you've barely even heard of drops a survival craft monster catcher on Steam. No marketing budget, no decade of hype, just raw vibes, a dream, and some very weaponized creatures. By the weekend, they hit 2.1 million concurrent players, and to put that into perspective, only PUBG and Counter-Strike has seen those kinds of numbers. Yet this small indie studio did that in 72 hours, and Nintendo's legal team was not happy about it and ready to put belt to ass.
Okay, we have it in our set. Fire, boom.
So what is the actual game? Let's strip away the controversy, and Power World is just a remarkably cozy, addictive, open-world survival craft game. You wander a beautiful landscape, capture creatures called pals, which, yeah, it involves hitting them with a spear after a little fight, and you build a home. Some pals help you farm, some mine, some just ride around in your head, and you kind of feel guilty. Jokes aside, it's all fun, it's genuine, and behind this game wasn't a faceless corporation machine. It was just Pocket Pair, a Tokyo-based studio of about 35 developers at the time. They weren't industry titans, they were just regular devs who previously made, 2 games, Over Dungeon and Craftopia, that frankly didn't really set the world on fire. This was their absolute last-ditch effort, and they poured everything they had left into this project. And as the internet always does, they decided to immediately accuse them of being a AI-generated asset-flipping scam. And one can only imagine the mental toll of that. You know, you work for years, completely sleep-deprived, just hoping to make your budget back, but instead, your game still becomes a global phenomenon overnight, but half the internet is calling for your head, while the other half is waiting for Nintendo to sue you into bankruptcy. Thankfully, the players knew the truth. Unlike the buggy, stuttering, technically compromised releases of these AAA monster catchers we see all the time.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Power World just worked. It ran smooth enough, it had seamless co-op, and it was built by people who clearly love the genre, showing a level of care that massive publishers have long since abandoned. Pocket Pair had a dream, and then suddenly they also had a target on their back.
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
No,
I like that.
Enemy AC-130 above!
A game is always just more than its code. It's the people who live in it, and the Power World community was something beautiful and feral. Yeah, the modding community, they didn't just walk, they sprinted, and within a week, creators were fixing minor bugs, adding quality of life adjustments, and just making the world feel way more alive. And as expected, one creator even made a brilliant viral mod replacing the characters with actual Pokemon. Of course, Nintendo's legal team descended upon them as fast as possible with the craziest, merciless DMCA within days.
You can't get away with it!
And you know the community, they just went even harder. The game's Reddit and forums became a sanctuary for people who love the universe after a while. And then fans spent hours drafting lore, creating stunning fan art, and deeply connecting over their shared adventures. And let's be honest about why the community defended Power World so fiercely. It's because they felt it. These AAA studios just don't care anymore, and for decades, fans have begged the major franchises for better performance, better mechanics, and real innovation. But instead, we just get cut corners, empty maps, and then games that feel like they were rushed off the assembly line. So when Power World released from this small studio, the community didn't just buy the game, they swore to protect it. For months, there was a tense silence. Right after launch, the Pokemon Company put out a very cold, single-paragraph statement saying that they were investigating. Then nothing. Spring passed, summer passed. Pocket Pair kept updating the game, listening to players, and working in their office, probably starting to breathe a sigh of relief, and maybe they were safe. Then came September 19th, 2024. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company filed a joint infringement lawsuit in the Tokyo District Court. Not a copyright lawsuit. They didn't claim Pocket Pair stole their art because legally they had it. Instead, Nintendo went after how the game was played. They asserted 3 highly specific patents, including Japanese patent numbers 7545191, 7493117, and 7528390. These patents covered incredibly basic mechanics like throwing a ball to catch a monster, aiming a character to initiate a fight, and riding characters across a 3D plane. And thinking about the emotional and psychological weight of that, you're a tiny studio, your opponent has a market cap of over $50 billion. They didn't just sue you in America or Europe, they sued you in their home court, Tokyo District Court, under Japanese patent laws where they effectively have infinite money and time. Pocket Pair's response was honestly heartbreaking and still professional. They apologized to their fans for the worry. They expressed deep sadness that they would have to spend their limited time and resources on the legal battle instead of making the game better. And they were terrified, and anyone in their shoes would have been. This lawsuit sent straight shivers through the entire game development community, because if Nintendo could successfully patent the concept of aiming and throwing a spear to catch a creature, what does that mean for the future of creativity? Just imagine if the developers of Doom had patented the first-person shooter perspective. Imagine if Super Mario patented the ability to jump on a platform. These are genre-defining mechanics and are supposed to be built upon, iterated, and improved. But Pocket Pair, they didn't curl up and die. Instead, they decided to adapt, and to survive, they made some incredibly painful choices. In 2024, they quietly modified that core spear-throwing mechanic to sidestep Nintendo's patent claim. And then, in May 2025, they had to alter the game's beloved gliding mechanic. A lot of studios would have quietly just shut down and gave up, took the L, and settled and dissolved. But Pocket Pair, they really chose to fight for their players, and on June 5th, 2025, they took the stage at Summer Game Fest and announced Power World 1.0, a full release, a brand new island, fresh mechanics, and a promise to see this through. Pocket Pair looked them in the eyes and said,
"Well, I do this shit for the love of the game."
Was it the exact uncompromised game they wanted to make? No, but the legal battle had left some scars, and some mechanics had to be altered. Some elements were sanded down to fit the narrow eye of the patent needle, and you can feel those compromises when you play. But the miracle that it is still exists. The studio's still here, the game is still running. They didn't let the threat of a corporate giant erase years of hard work, love, and community. And in the end, this battle really proves something vital. It proves that a small group of passionate creators, backed by a community that genuinely cares, can survive the storm. Nintendo's legal team might be the undisputed final boss of the industry, but they couldn't stop a team that refused to give up on its players. The lawsuit is still moving through the courts, and there is still a long road ahead, but for now, the team is still standing. If you liked the video, give me a like, a subscribe, and a comment. It goes a long way. I really appreciate it, and I hope to be able to create more content like this. Till then, I'll see you guys later.